Hey everybody, welcome to Pack 1 Pick 1 number 203 on the Mana Leek. I'm John as always, and we've got another opened pack of Core Set 2020. Where's the wrapper for this one? There we go. And there it goes off the table. Yeah, if you missed the past couple of weeks, I tried to get ahead of myself and pre-record a few weeks of Crack-a-Packs, and the audio screwed up. My voice was super slow, and the pitch was down, and there was a bunch of clicking sounds, and nothing would possibly bring that audio back from the dead. So rather than throw these packs out and just have to re-record more and lose a whole bunch of cash on that, I'm reusing the packs, unfortunately. So you'll just have to trust me that these were the packs that were opened in the order they were opened for the same people who were drawn from Patreon. As always, these packs are supported by the fine folks over at patreon.com/themanaleek. If you become a backer at the $5 level or above, you get your chance each week to get all the cards, none of the cards, some of the cards out of the pack. This week, it's Paul Harland White's chance to get these cards. Up first, we have Anticipate. Anticipate is 1 and a blue for an instant. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put one of those, I never read this card, one of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. I just know what it does. I never read it. Yeah, this card's totally fine. I love playing this card. I love on a slightly sketchy keep where I know I can cast this on turn 2, casting it on turn 2 and getting that land that I need or that spell that I need or whatever happens to be in my top 3. It's not a first pick though, but I love it. Up next is Infuriate. Infuriate is a single red mana for an instant. Target creature gets +3/+2 until end of turn. It's a combat trick. It's a very efficient combat trick. It's almost giant growth, or brute strength if you want to talk about planar chaos or whatever set that was. Yeah, it's a fine combat trick if you're going super aggro. Well, here's a card that you might want to put in, but otherwise, not a first, well, never a first pick, but otherwise not even playable. Up next is Morland Inquisitor. Morland Inquisitor is 1 and a white for a 2/2 creature human soldier. You can pay 2 and a white. Morland Inquisitor gains first strike until end of turn. It's filler, and it's filler in a color you don't really want to jump into except for very good reasons, and this is not a very good reason. Yeah, the first strike can be kind of a pain, but it typically gets outclassed relatively quick, so I'm just not super sold on Morland Inquisitor. I don't really want to be picking this too highly or getting into white for it. This card I would first pick though, Audacious Thief. Audacious Thief is 2 and a black for a creature human rogue. It's a 2/2. Whenever it attacks, you lose a life and you draw a card. That ain't too shabby. Yeah, this card is solid. I would not feel horrible about first picking it. I would prefer a bomb. But if this attacks in more than once, you're just going to drown your opponent in value. Audacious Thief, totally solid card. I wouldn't hate Pack 1 Pick 1ing it. Up next is Plummet. Plummet is 1 and a green for an instant. Destroy target creature with flying. So I started out this format telling everybody that absolutely you should be main decking your plummets and your spiders and whatnot, and I still stand by that, but if I'm green, I would strongly prefer that I have a netcaster spider or a mammoth spider. I would prefer not to main deck the plummet, but if I missed on the spiders, then I'll still put one of these in the main deck. Otherwise, remember you have it in the side deck because there are flyers in this format. There's flyers in every color. Yeah, plummet, sideboard, nowhere near a first pick. Another card that I would not hate first picking is Silverback Shaman. Silverback Shaman is 3 green for a creature ape shaman. It's a 5/4 with trample. When Silverback Shaman dies, draw a card. This card's amazing. It does everything. It's 5 power for 5 mana. It's 4 toughness for 5 mana, but whatever. It's got trample, and when it dies, and trust me, your opponent wants it to die, you draw a card. This card is great. I love playing Silverback Shamans. I'd play multiples of them. I don't know, maybe not 5, but I'd play at least 2. And yeah, I wouldn't hate a pack that was weakish, and I first picked a Silverback Shaman, so you get to hang out in frame as well. Up next is Stone Golem. Stone Golem is 5 generic mana for an artifact creature golem. It's a 4/4 with no rules text. Big whoop. There's just not enough going on in this format. Obviously, if you have Master Splicer, if you have a Renowned Weaponsmith or something, this gets a little bit better to better. But I'm not going in on that. Not a first pick anyways, ever. This card, I don't feel like I've ever seen anybody cast it. Battalion Foot Soldier is 2 and a white for a creature human soldier. It's a 2/2. When you cast it, you get to go search your library for any other number of copies of this card and put them into your hand, and then shuffle your library. Yeah, this just isn't good. In Ixalan, when this was called Legion Conquistador, I think, it was good because you were getting vampires in a set where vampires mattered. Human soldiers don't matter here. Tutus don't matter here. So this card just really isn't that good. It doesn't do anything, and it's awful the first copy. The second copy isn't that much better, and if you get there by having 4 or 5 of these, you're still just playing tutus, and that's not going to get you there. No interest in Battalion Foot Soldier. Winged Words is up next. Winged Words is 2 and a blue for a sorcery. This spell costs 1 less to cast if you control a creature with flying. Draw 2 cards. It's divination, but strictly better. Yeah, this card's great. Divination in this format. So if we just cut out this first paragraph, this card would be totally playable and good. With that first paragraph, or first sentence, I guess, it's super good. I love this card. I'd play multiples of the card. I should like this format more than I do because of things like Winged Words and drawing cards and stuff like that. But yeah, Winged Words, love it. I'm not first picking it over these 2 cards. I'm preferably never first picking it, but it's still a card I love. Up next, our final common, by my count, is Unholy Indenture. Unholy Indenture is 2 and a black for an enchantment aura. Enchant creature. When enchanted creature dies, return it to the battlefield under your control with a +1/+1 counter on it. This card's not good. I had to argue with people during the set review about this. We've seen this card before. There's a lot of steps to go through that you don't control to make this work. If you're putting it on your own creature, that creature has to die. That creature might just not die, and if it doesn't die, you wasted a card. This could have been removal, this could have been another creature, this could have been a combat trick, this could have been anything, because in that game, it was nothing. You could get blown out if your opponent bounces the creature, or if they kill it in response to this. And so I know a lot of people will say, well, you put this on their creature and then you kill their creature. Well, you can't just kill their creature. You can't just snap your fingers. You have to have another card that will do that. They have to willingly allow it to happen in combat or things like that. There's too many steps to actually make this card work. You should never play it. You will win way more games if you do not ever put this card in your deck. And it's not a first pick. Our first uncommon is Uncaged Fury. Uncaged Fury is 2 and a red for an instant uncommon. Target creature gets +1/+1 and gains double strike until end of turn. This card's terrifying. You lose games out of nowhere because of this card, and boy, if they ever put it on an unblocked Rotting Regisaur, just goodbye to your life. Uncaged Fury is terrifying. It's a combat trick, so I'm never picking it super highly, but if I'm in red, if my plan is to attack you until you die quickly, well, I want Uncaged Furies for sure. Not a first pick against these 2 cards especially, but very scary. Scholar of the Ages is up next. Scholar of the Ages is 5 blue for a creature human wizard. She's a 3/3. When Scholar of the Ages enters the battlefield, return up to 2 target instant and or sorcery cards from your graveyard to your hand. This card, when I first saw it revealed, I said, it's really expensive for what it does. But it turns out it's actually not. And in fact, in the properly built deck, you recur this thing over and over, which is terrifying. Yeah, Scholar of the Ages has been kind of an all-star in this format. I've never played the deck just because I don't pick her highly enough. I think you have to first pick her, basically. But I've played against the decks, and they're terrifying. So yeah, Scholar of the Ages, super good. She returns your murders and your removal spells and your counter spells and your bounce spells and whatever. And she returns a soul salvage so that she can die and return herself. And stuff happens with this card. I've yet to really play with it. I should probably first pick it to actually give it a go. And I don't know what the first pick is. I think it's probably Scholar of the Ages over these 2 cards, but I'm not sure. But we can just throw away all of those cards onto the floor because we have a Risen Reef. Risen Reef is 1 green-blue for a creature elemental. It's a 1/1 with a lot of text. You guys know what it does, right? Whenever Risen Reef or another elemental enters the battlefield under your control, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may put it onto the battlefield tapped. If you do not put it onto the battlefield, then you put it into your hand. You don't draw it, you put it into your hand. Yeah, Risen Reef is just insane. It's absolutely crushing standard right now, and the bots are still stupid on Arena and don't pick it, so it's crushing Arena drafts right now, or Arena air quote drafts. Yeah, Risen Reef is just super powerful. It's a first pick. It doesn't matter that it's gold, you will take it, you will play green, you will play blue, you'll probably play red if you need to or have to or want to, and it's going to win you a bajillion games. The rare is going to have to be insane for us to not first pick Arisen Reef. Well, look at that. The rare's insane. Nightpack Ambusher. Nightpack Ambusher is 2 green for a creature wolf. It's a 4/4 with flash other wolves and werewolves. There are not any. You control, get +1/+1 at the beginning of your end step. If you didn't cast a spell this turn, make a 2/2, by which we mean 3/3, wolf creature token. Yeah, this card's super good. Also tearing up standard in the Simic Flash deck. Nightpack Ambusher is just insanely good. It's probably one of the best rares in the set. It just does so much work. It's a 4/4 with flash for 4, which means it's a removal spell if your opponent is attacking you. And then you have a 4/4 left over, which maybe gets to attack in, or at the very least deters your opponent. And then you just sit there and go, ha ha ha, I'm going to establish my board every turn while drawing cards and not having to cast them. Try me, do something, and typically your opponent can't. Nightpack Ambusher is amazing, and I think kicks Risen Reef out, because Nightpack Ambusher is just really good. We got a swamp, and hey, look at that, a wolf token. So yeah, I'm going to first pick the Nightpack Ambusher here. I think it's insane. If it wasn't there, I think it's a clear Risen Reef. If that wasn't there, then I think it's probably a Scholar of the Ages. Yeah, it's probably just Scholar of the Ages. So let me know what your pick one would have been, and I have a feeling what you're going to say it's going to be in the comments down below. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you can find me over on Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook. You can find me at patreon.com/ShamanLeek if you want to become a backer there at any level. But if you do become a backer at the $5 level or above, you get your chance to get the cards out of these packs each week, as Paul Harland White did this week. As always, if you want to go over to inkedgaming.com, you can use the promo code MANALEAK10, all one word, 10 is the number, to get 10% off your order and help out the channel. And you can help out the channel just simply by clicking thumbs up, subscribing, and sharing. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see y'all next time.